You've tried budgeting before. You made the spreadsheet, you assigned the categories, you felt organized, you felt like this time was different. And then, somewhere between week 2 and week 3, it fell apart. Not because you're bad with money, not because you lack discipline, but because the framework you were using was never designed to work. It was designed to be explained. There is a number that appears in almost every personal finance article ever written. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings. The 50-30-20 rule. Simple, clean, and repeated so often that most people assume it must be backed by serious research. It is not. Today we're going to look at what the data actually shows, what makes a budget succeed over the long term, what the data reveals about why most frameworks collapse within weeks, and what the single variable is that the evidence consistently points to as the true predictor of budgeting success. The 50-30-20 rule was popularized by Senator Elizabeth Warren in her 2005 book, All Your Worth. It was designed as a communication tool, a simple framework to help people think about broad spending categories. It was never derived from data on what actually makes budgets work. It was never tested against real financial outcomes. It was a heuristic dressed up as a prescription. And it is one of the reasons so many people have failed at budgeting despite genuinely trying. Let us start with the failure data, because it is more useful than the success stories. The majority of people who start a formal budget abandon it within the first few weeks. Not 3 months, 3 weeks. When researchers investigated why, the answers clustered into 3 categories: rigidity, cognitive load, personality mismatch. The first was rigidity. Picture this. You have set your grocery budget at $400 for the month. Week 3, your car needs a repair. The entire framework collapses because a single unexpected expense has no home in a fixed percentage system. Budgets built on rules like 50-30-20 do not account for income variability, irregular expenses, or the reality that life does not organize itself into neat monthly categories. The second was cognitive load. Think about the last time you were under serious stress at work. Now imagine trying to log every transaction, reconcile receipts, and maintain a spreadsheet during that same week. Research by Soman and Chima at the University of Toronto showed that the more complex a budgeting system, the faster compliance degrades, particularly under stress, which is precisely when financial discipline is most needed. The people who most need their budget to work are also the people least likely to maintain a complicated one. The third was personality mismatch. And this is where the data gets particularly interesting. Budget adherence is not consistently predicted by financial literacy, income, or motivation. It is predicted by fit. High-detail people, those who score highly on conscientiousness in personality research, do significantly better with granular, zero-based budgeting systems that account for every dollar. They find the detail motivating, not exhausting. Low-detail people, those who find granular tracking draining rather than satisfying, do significantly better with what researchers call values-based budgeting, a simpler approach that automates the non-negotiables and places no constraints on the remainder. Tracking everything doesn't make them responsible. It makes them quit. There is no universally superior budgeting method. There is only the method you will actually use. Now let us look at what the research identifies as the single variable most predictive of long-term budgeting success. It is not the method you choose. It is not your savings rate. It is not your income. It is consistency of review. Regular review predicted better financial outcomes, regardless of the system used. The mechanism behind this is well established in behavioral research. Regular review creates what psychologists call implementation feedback loops, moments where the brain compares actual behavior against intended behavior and adjusts. Without these loops, budgets become aspirational documents rather than active systems. Regular review creates feedback loops. Feedback loops create behavioral change. Without them, a budget is just a document. This brings us to what the research calls the minimum viable budget, the simplest framework that captures the benefits of budgeting without the cognitive overhead that causes most systems to fail. It has 3 components: Step 1. Automate the non-negotiables. Savings, investments, debt payments. They move on payday. They are not decisions. Before any discretionary spending occurs, automate your savings contribution, your investment contribution, and your debt payments. These move on the day your salary arrives. They are not decisions. They are infrastructure. By removing the decision entirely, you eliminate the most failure-prone moment in any budgeting system. Step 2. Set one weekly spending number. Not 12 categories. One number. One number is easy to track mentally. 12 categories require a spreadsheet, and spreadsheets, as the data shows, get abandoned. Take your monthly income after taxes and automatic deductions. Subtract your fixed costs, rent, utilities, insurance, subscriptions. Divide the remainder by 4. That is your weekly discretionary number. Everything non-fixed comes out of that number. Step 3. A 15-minute weekly review. 3 questions. Did I stay within my number? If not, why? What changes next week? Not a deep audit, not a full reconciliation. 15 minutes, once a week, to answer 3 questions. The research does not support adding more complexity to this step. The value is in the regularity, not the depth. Here is what the data is telling us. Popular frameworks fail because they were designed to be explained. Systems work because they are designed to be used. The evidence points to 3 things that actually predict success. A method matched to your psychological profile, automated removal of the financial decisions that matter most, and a regular review habit that creates the feedback loop your brain needs to adjust behavior over time. The 50-30-20 rule is not wrong as a starting point for thinking about spending, but it is not a system. It is a slide in a presentation. And slides, as the research consistently shows, do not change behavior. Systems do. Which budget method have you tried before? Comment below and tell me specifically where it broke down, because the data has a very consistent answer for each type of failure. I want to know yours. If research-backed financial analysis is what you are looking for, subscribe. There is a new video every Tuesday, and every one of them starts with the evidence.